Hi, we're back for the next step of the jewelry cabinet, and what we're going to be doing next is the final layer of the coloring. And if you want, let me flip the camera around for just a moment. You can see that we've done the white flower stencil on the doors, on the front, and now we're going to be moving on to the stencils over the door for the final finish. Now, if you give me just a moment, I'm going to set up the camera so it's stable and I can work and show you. So you're going to get some probably fairly unflattering views of me for just a moment. Okay, now you can see the table. And I've already sprayed the stencil and it's adhered to the surface. I'm going to move it a little bit so the stencil's not pushing against anything. Once again, the stencil adhesive is not to prevent bleedings, it's to prevent the stencil from moving so you get a cleaner pattern. The product we're using is Palette Deco Clear. Now, I've already made a mix where it has glass beads, pink glitter, clear glitter, and some mica flakes in it to get a super glittery pattern going through here. Now, I could stop at the white, but I want to add a final layer of detail. Now, it's going to look kind of whitish instead of pink when I'm doing it, but it will look better once it's dry. And give me just a second because I've got to put on a pair of gloves. You don't ever want to play with Palette Deco without gloves. Why? Because it sticks to everything and you'll be wearing it as your manicure. And goodness knows I have done that more than a few times. So gloves on, and then I will fill in this surface. I will pull it so that you can see it, and that will be the end of this step. Okay. Nice big glob on here. And notice I'm using the room key again. Why am I doing that? Because it smooths better. Smooths on better, and I have less of the beads and the glitter popping around that I would if I used any other kind of trowel. And I'm going to get the whole surface done. This is not terribly exciting to watch at this moment. And then when I'm done with this, it looks like I'm covering the whole stencil with the bead mixture, so it looks like I'm going through a lot, but actually I'm not. What I do once I'm done with this is I lift the stencil and take the stencil over onto another piece of polystyrene or other plastic and scrape all of this glass bead mixture off of it and back into the pot so it's ready to be used for the next one. That way I don't run short. Now I'm doing this on the doors and on the drawer fronts, but I will not be doing it on the insides that you've seen me working on. Why? Because it will interfere with the way the doors close, and it will probably catch on the jewelry hanging inside because it's a little rough. It's got a texture to it. I want to make sure everything closes properly when the time comes. This is a pretty pattern. It looks like champagne bubbles, and it's going to just add that last little bit of sparkle to this. Like I said, I could have stopped at any layer, and you can stop at any layer if you want to do something similar. Obviously, my colors for this project have been a lot of pink. That's because that's what my client asked for. I seem to be doing a lot of pink. I seem to be the pink finisher this year. 2 salons in pink, now a lot of pink furniture, and now this one for a completely different client. Not all my clients that are doing the pink are the same clients. It would seem that they would be, but they're not. But I guess 2017 for me is the year of the pink client. Kind of fun because most of the time, most of us are working in beige and neutral and fairly, I don't want to say common colors, but I would say more subtle colors. People are more comfortable with them in their homes. So when I get a chance to do an adult client that wants some unusual colors, it's a treat because it's sort of like doing kids furniture for grown-ups. So it gets to be a little blingier, a little more colorful, a little more interesting in texture and pattern. And I think I'm probably going to go off camera for a minute here just because of the size of this door. And I'm getting all the edges. Now, there will be globs along the edges when I pull this up. I'll let it set up for a few minutes, and then I'll clean the globs up. They clean easier that way, but don't let them get hard. Palette Deco dries really hard, and it's a lot of work. I'm going to twist this camera angle just a little bit. I'm sorry, you're getting the back of the door there. I'll twist the camera, I'll twist the door. You don't want it to stick on here permanently. You don't want it to become something you have to use a knife to cut off. Whereas I can just, once this is set up a little firm, I can just wipe it off with my either room key or the edge of my finger or whatever I have that'll clean it off nice and neatly without leaving a residue behind on the edges I don't want it to go onto. Once again, Palette Deco sticks to everything, so make sure you clean whatever you've applied it to that you don't want it to go on. Again, if I have a little bleed under here, I'm not worried about it. I'll just take a Q-tip, clean it up, and I've got just about the whole pattern done now. I'm going to check along the edges, see if I missed anything. I don't think so. Up in the corner over here. And pretty good. I don't worry about it being perfectly smooth because when it dries, Palette Deco will shrink back and tighten up the stuff that's in the mixture. And here we go. It's a little hard for you to see at that camera angle, so I'm going to pick it up and show you a little better. You can see that's on there, and once it dries, it'll be crystal clear with a lot of glittery stuff in it. Okay, that's the end of this step. Now all the drawer panels, the door fronts, everything have all been done with the pattern that we worked through with the stencils and the various paints, and what's left for me to deal with is the inside edges of the jewelry box doors, which have hooks on them to hang necklaces and stuff, the drawer tops, the drawer bottoms, the edges of the panels where the drawers are set in, and I wanted them to have a little bit of contrast to what else has been done. It's all very pink, and there's a lot of glitter, but I needed a little extra metallic texture to complete the look. Now, as you can see, I have a mask around my face because what we're doing next is using metallic, let me get the front to this, metallic mica powders. This is Gold Leaf Metallic Powders from Sepleaf. The color is Russet. I don't think it's a color they carry anymore, but I love it and use it a lot because it's pink, and I have clients who like pink things. Now, whenever you use metallic powders or mica powders, you want to use a respirator because what it does, the stuff, if you breathe it, it's not good for your lungs. So you want to take care not to. And it's a very glamorous look, so, you know, everybody have a good chuckle. It's not like I was having a great hair day to begin with. And this is not going to make it any better, but I refuse to breathe in the mica particles and the metallic particles and have lung issues from it. So I'm doing the edges here. Let's see if I can get them better in the picture. There we go. I'm doing these edges all on the insides of the jewelry case doors so that they all have a nice finish. There's a little coat of paint on here. I had looked into doing foils. I wasn't getting the release I like, so I wanted to go for something else that would still give me a really nice metallic look. My voice is going to be muffled because of the mask, so I hope you all can understand me. I applied Faux Effects designer foil size on the edges of the doors and the drawers and everywhere else that I'm going to be putting metals. And then I'm going to take a makeup brush. I get these cheap wholesale makeup brushes, and I'm going to just simply brush this on carefully. I could use a bigger brush, but I want a little more control, and I can see I'm not exactly in the camera frame for you to see what I'm doing. So I'll do it here. And it goes on like eyeshadow. And it goes on very opaque and covers really nicely, and it gives a beautiful finish. And what this technique is called It's called flash gilding. Now, if you give me a second, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see it closer. Let's see if I can get a good picture in here because I'm not really gifted like that. All right. I think you can see it right in here. You can see it's solid metal, whereas over here it's not. I might not be getting. So now you've seen pretty much everything I'm going to be doing to this, with the exception of dealing with the drawer pulls and the touch-ups and whatever's going to happen to the top of that case. I still haven't figured it out, and if I do, maybe I'll videotape it. But I flash gilded all these edges, and I can't seem to get a good light that shows you the metallic, but it is very pink and very metallic, and it cleans this whole edge up nicely. I will also probably do some sort of patterning on the sides of the drawers because my client likes that sort of thing. But you've received a lot of instruction on how to deal with most of this, and hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be having a better hair day. But thanks for watching this video, and I will be posting more about some project, maybe this one, maybe another one, coming very soon. Thanks, bye.